What's up, Internet? I'm Daniel, the Pitch Professor, and there's a new video that's caught my eye we'd like to take a closer look at, and that's called Watch Me Close on the Phone, Grant Cardone. Kind of has a ring to it, isn't it? Watch me close on the phone, Grant Cardone. Anyhow, Grant Cardone is like one of these sales legends, however, somewhat controversial, and actually, I'm curious to have a look at this one, because I've had a lot of people talk about this guy, refer to him, but I'd like to have a little bit of a professional look at him from a pitch perspective. So I opened the video, looked at some of the comments. They seemed somewhat spicy, and the best was the description. It says, "Look, you're not Grant Cardone." Well, obviously I'm not, but if you are, by the way, hello. And it says, "Look, you're not Grant Cardone. If you want to close on the phone, you need training." Good. Understood. And that's quite straightforward. And might as well just watch the man close on the phone. It's a training setup. Says 10x at the background, so he's priming his audience already. Let's lean back. And again, I'm not a sales guy. However, they do call me the Pitch Professor. So my thing is all about pitching something. And I think selling on the phone is basically pitching. However, I'm always somewhat... I'm never quite sure about these salesy dudes on the internet because they're often too pushy, too alpha, too aggressive, too whatever. Let's find out what Grant Cardone is all about. Let's watch him close on the phone. Unless you're Grant Cardone. I like that ring. Anyhow, that's my inner 12-year-old. Let's take a look. Mr. Cardone.
I'm not too important of a CEO, whatever that even means, to not do this, because this is the lifeblood of the organization.
Gotta jump in here. Something smart he said already. I'm not too important to do this. Well, I think probably he's quite sure he is important, and I bet he is. However, as a CEO of a startup, no matter what size, 5 people, 50 people, 500 people, 5,000 people, you are always the salesperson. And see, I lectured at a ton of universities, especially the tech universities or the medical universities where I get to lecture. A lot of the 2B CEOs, founders go like, yeah, but that's not my thing. Or people go, yeah, but sales is, people are just going to look at the product and be amazed by its superior brilliance and therefore buy by the dozens. Yes, but that never happens. So here's the thing. The next thing is people say, well, I'm going to hire amazing salespeople once I get funding. Yes, and they're going to sell everything, including stuff you can't deliver because they have no effing clue of what you actually do, and they're just trying to smash their bonus. So here's the thing. You are the one who's selling because the first buyers, they don't buy your product. They don't buy your technology. They buy you. They buy the trust they have in you and your ability to deliver. With selling, by the way, I don't mean necessarily selling individual products, but also your vision, the picture, the goals you want to achieve in and with your company. And you are the only ones who can convey this. And just to break it, I've noticed a lot. So I train people globally, but specifically in Europe and Eastern Europe, a lot of people have that, yeah, but selling is dirty. Making money is dirty. No, it's not. It gives you the ability to build the greatest company in the world by being able to pay the greatest people in the world. So what am I trying to tell you? If you want to found a company, you have to be willing and able to learn to sell. You're not going to be born a seller, but you need to learn. And my man, Grant Cardone here, he has just told us you're never too important to sell. I like that.
Yeah,
Grant Cardone.
the man himself.
Come on, man. Hey, let me tell you why I'm calling. All right, you got a second?
Yep.
I got 2 questions. You got a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Second question. Why didn't you buy our product? Why didn't you buy our product?
Yeah, just a bit of an intro. I think that was a bit awkward, like with these 2 questions, and I had the feeling the other guy didn't quite get it. And for me, now obviously all these people in the room know Grant Cardone and go like, yes, you're the man, because they've all probably paid a ton of money to be there to listen to him. So, but I think I think that was a bit of a bumpy start. But he kind of asks a question, gets an answer, and asks the same question again. Which for me, if I were the one answering on the phone, I go like, dude, you're not listening, right? You're on some kind of an autopilot. And there's something I really hate is when I get cold calls on the phone, which I obviously always hate. But here's the thing. Very often people use a script, and that's not a bad thing. But in most cases, I can tell. I go like, hello, Mr. Pitch Prof, and you're like, yes. Good day. It's a pleasure to be talking to you. Have you ever considered updating your carrier? And you go like, no, I'm not interested. Well, that's great. However, we've got amazing. And you go like, dude, stop. And here's the thing. Try and be authentic about it and try and be honest. And for me, that was a bit of a bumpy start. Anyway, just had to cut in there. Again, I'm just sharing my opinion. So if you see it differently or you're Grant Cardone on the phone, just tell me. Share your viewpoints, because I know there's rules to this, but I think a lot of this is just subjective and very regional as well. So anyhow, let's listen to Grant Cardone on the phone. Never too old for this.
That's a good question.
It is.
Oh, I nearly forgot this. Sorry, I got so carried away. He did ask a great question. Why haven't you bought our product yet? I mean, he's actually crashing into the house kind of with the door. You know, he's going in like a SWAT team, like a freight train. That's okay. And to ask people why they decided against your product or service is a great way to get feedback. And the thing is, we know from market research is happy customers, I don't know what the exact number is, are gonna talk about your product by 1.5 to 1.5 other people. Unhappy to 8 or 9 or whatever, then it's a high number. And having an unhappy customer and trying to find out what make them happy and to turn them actually absolutely multiplies the impact. So that's a smart move, but makes me think it's a cold call, right? So how does Grant Cardone on the phone know that the other guy has now bought their product, right? Okay, but probably it's not a random person, but someone they've kind of qualified before. But there you go. Let's go back to Grant Cardone on the phone. Sorry about this. Okay.
And as I told the gentleman I was talking to, I'm very much sold on the product. Right now, though, I'm in the middle of a restructuring in our business, so I kind of been waiting for the right time to implement such a product.
Of course. And what would that right time? What would that look like to you?
The right time, I would say, would be September, early September.
Okay, good.
A lot happening between now and then.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. A lot happening for a lot of people right now. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. What do you, when we get started in September, what do you hope that the product will do for you?
Interesting. Two things here. The customer on the phone, the potential, said, okay, I like the product. Good for him. That's a huge step already. However, it's about the timing. Fair enough. So this kind of makes the phone the call a little bit tricky. It's because it's just about timing, not actually being unsatisfied with anything. However, it's a smart way to say, okay, well, when is the right time? And that's a great way to kind of take this somewhat negative feedback and try and turn it and paint a scenario that will make sense. So he says, okay, great. Well, what will be the right time? He says in September. Great. So what is it that you would need to have happen in September? So what he's actually doing is he's interviewing the other side and trying to understand what is the scenario you're looking out for. I'll just go back a bit here because I've cut in, but it's a short call and a lot of spice to it. Let's listen in again. And I kind of forget half of it. Listening to Grant Cardone on the phone.
Early September.
Okay, good.
A lot happening between now and then.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. A lot happening for a lot of people right now. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. What do you, when we get started in September, what do you hope that the product will do for you?
Great question.
You want more sales? You want to make more money? You want to have a better
Okay, so
organization?
good question.
It is the second good question of the day.
Yeah, we have a growing sales team. I want to create this kind of unanimous approach where everyone's using the same approach to generate more leads and close deals quicker. You know, we work in high-end furniture and lighting.
Yeah.
So our clients are architects and interior designers. They often have to wait on their client's approval So, sometimes that's tricky for us. How do we incentivize them to close quicker?
To close
how do we
quicker.
kind of guarantee that we're in there?
Yeah, the exact reason you're giving me is the number one objective.
Exactly.
It's crazy. It's freaking like Freudian shit. So
Just want to jump in. It's interesting. I mean, first of all, I think it's really good during calls to take notes. I mean, here's the funny thing. When I do these videos or any type of training, I walk into the room with an empty piece of paper. And then I start taking notes, as I'm doing now, as you'll see in all the other videos of me responding to this, because there's just so much happening. And quite often you don't know what it is you're looking for. And what I try and do is write down things that could make sense. And if they do make sense, put a circle around it, that I can easily try and understand a structure behind what's going on the one hand, and on the other hand, in very many cases, the people you're talking to actually don't have that structure that clearly in the head on very, very, very many cases. So you're saying, look, why didn't you buy the product? Or why didn't you invest in this company? Or why are you currently not investing? And for example, the answer is because currently I'm not investing because it's timing. Just that example, timing. You're saying, okay, great. So when is the right time to approach you again? Blah, blah, blah. Great. And what is it you look for in a pitch that really excites you? So people respond. And very often they may have thought about it or may not. And then, for example, you can take this a step further. I don't know what he's going to do now. There. But what I would do in that case, if you have that one opportunity to talk to someone, is to say, okay, I understand it's about timing right now, but what would have to happen that you would change your mind? What's the one thing you'd need to hear right now that's creating you tremendous pain or tremendous curiosity? If you hear this one thing, what would it be? And this is something that makes people think, and that's something I really enjoy seeing, and I try and understand, okay, is that something I might be able to deliver with what I do or what not? Because the funny thing is, in very many cases, what people do is they pitch their technology, they pitch their product, they pitch their company, but that's not what the other side is buying. They're actually buying a solution to a specific problem they have. For example, in this case, I don't know if the guy on the phone is really curious in buying whatever Grant Cardone on the phone is offering, sales training. I don't know what it is. But what he's actually trying to buy is he'd like to close his deals quicker, and probably in consequence to be able to turn around quicker, to be able to sell his products faster, pay his bills quicker, grow faster, avoid a funding round. I don't know. So that's what he's actually buying. And that obviously has a specific value. In an earlier video, which I'll point, which I'll point here, I told you the story of my accountant. You might want to listen to this, who had one of the greatest pitches ever to me. You'll have to find that in the video. It's a great spot. And I'm assuming this is what's going to happen. Go back to Mr. Grant Cardone on the phone. No idea how often I will have said that, but if one of you wants to count it, I challenge you.
So look. Now, let's say I get you generate more leads, we create a great culture, and we close more sales. Financially, what would you hope for this to do for you?
Good one.
Like I said, financially, from what I was told, this will increase my sales by 20 or 30%, which is great. I'd love to.
Yeah, and how much money would that quantify if I hit the top mark, 30%?
That could be about 2 to 3 million.
Okay, 2 to 3 million a month, or 2 to 3 million a year?
A year.
Okay.
Oh, you smart devil. Okay, this was great. So the guy says, will it be 20 to 30% more? And he says, okay, but how much? How much would that be? And he says, I believe he says 2 to 3 million. Let me just listen into this again.
Hit the top mark, 30%.
That could be about 2 to 3 million.
Okay, 2 to 3 million.
2 to 3 million. So what he actually does is, when I say I'd like to earn 20 to 30% more, that doesn't mean a thing. That could be €2 more. It could be 2,000 euros more. It could be 2 million more. And many, many years ago, I hosted an event as an MC called Pioneers Festival. And I'll never forget, about 3,000 people in the audience, top 8 pitches, one guy, amazing pitch. And one of the investors said, that was tremendous. What is it you're looking for? And the guy goes, money. And he goes like, yeah, dude, I understand. But how much? And the guy goes, a lot. And I nearly punched him. Because, like, I mean, you've gotten that far that someone says, dude, I believe in what you do. What is it you require for me to help you? And the guy goes, great question. Never thought about it. Money. How much? A lot. What does a lot of money mean? Again, it could be €5. It could be 50. It could be 50 million. You don't know it. So putting it into context, saying, okay, 30% of what? And he says, well, that could be 2 to 3 million. And I know exactly what Mr. Cardone is going to do right now. He's going to put the whole thing into context to say, look, my services cost that much, but to reach your target, it'll be that much. And therefore, I bet you he's going to do that. And that's something you should also do. Give context to numbers you are looking for. Give context to scenarios and give people an understanding that these numbers, it's always the thing. How much is, what's $500? $500 is a lot for, let's say, a match or a lighter. $500 for a lighter is a ton of money. You'd never pay that, right? $500 for a lighter, if you're stranded, you know, like, what's his name, Tom Hanks in Castaway, and you're trying to make fire to save your life, $500 is nothing. So it's all about context and obviously the people listening into you. Ooh, Mr. Cardone on the phone got me excited here. I like this. Interesting guy, but he's... Anyhow, let's listen to Mr. 10X a little further.
In a month or 2 to 3 million a year?
A year.
Okay, that's $800,000 a month.
Yeah.
So we got, what are we in right now? Is this June 15th?
Let me think. 2 to 3 million. That's 800,000 a month. 800,000 a month is 9.6 million, right? So, okay, this is fun. This is something that often happens in the heat of the moment. You're excited. Now, this is probably not so... I mean, probably it's staged, but I don't know. But this moment is that's information that's new to him. And because he's probably doing it in front of a class, he's not taking notes as well. He's kind of only half listened. Or maybe they had a script and the guy went off script. I don't know. But if you're saying you earn 2 to 3 million, he says, how much is that a month? That's something you might want to calculate very quickly, or at least by taking note, just for the fun of it. 2 to 3 million per month. Think about it, how quickly you would do that at the top of your head. Got it? Got it? Divide it by 12. That's tricky. If you can't do that quickly, use your phone. You'll probably have your phone at the ready. Why not? And just for the fun of it, let's take the lower number, 2 million divided by 12. Because for me, like now I'm doing this reaction video, it's hard for me to calculate. That's easy for me to go 800 times 12. I don't know why that's easier for me, but divide it is tricky. That's 166,000. That's not 800K. So Mr. Cardone on the phone has kind of had a little bump there, but fair enough. Could happen to anyone, but it might make it tricky in after sales. But let's continue on.
60.
Okay, so let's go back.
In right now, is this June 15th or 16th, something like that? July, August, September. That's 2 months. 2 times 800. How much is that?
16.
Dude, it's going to cost you $1.6 million to wait.
You're right.
Gotta go back to that one again. Just one more time.
800. How much is that?
16.
Dude, it's going to cost you $1.6 million to wait. July, August, September. That's 2 months. 2 times 800. How much is that?
Okay, sorry.
Dude, it's going to cost you $1.6 million to wait.
I mean, that's what I just meant. Okay, now it took me a second to get it, but he's basically saying, okay, how long do you want to wait? 2 more months? Okay, but I could make you, he says, 800 a month. So in these 2 months where you don't do the deal, you're losing 1.6, which that's the sales proposition. But based on the calculations we had before, we're actually not talking about $1.6 million. But if it were 2 million, we're talking about 320K. Don't get me wrong, that's a ton of money. But if you're pitching in the heat of the moment, the guy goes, he's going to save me, or he's going to make me 1.6 million. And then you have the second call. The guy says, yeah, look, the 1.6, I kind of got carried away there. It's actually 320,000. I mean, again, it's fantastic. It's a ton of money. But that's why it's not good in the heat of the moment to say a number you haven't been able to validate. It's going to cost you 3 seconds extra. We go like, that's going to make you, hang on, let me get my, how does that sound? And people are like, yeah, that's, or people are like, that's amazing. But he's over-promising something which he can't deliver just based on simple mathematics. But that happens on the phone. Let's go back.
You're right.
If I guaranteed we'd make you $1.6 million in the next 60 days, would you start today?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have my guy call you back, all right?
Oh, that's sweet. So he guarantees him he's going to make him $1.6 million in 2 months based on those revenue numbers. So he's just made it. What's that? Now, I don't want to be Grant Cardone on the phone, Grant Cardone on the phone. But the point being is, so we have 320 is like, if it's 2 to 3 million. If he says 2 to 3 million, it's probably 2 million. So that'll be 320 per month. 1.6 million. Oh, hang on. I don't want to be like him. I want to do my thing. 1.6 divided by 5x. I mean, he's Mr. 10x, so it shouldn't be an issue. But here's the point. That's unpleasant. I think. But again, the funny thing is I'm doing this video also right now, and I'm using my phone, so I'm probably wrong. And you have the chance, if you're listening to this and go, oh, this is a bit weird, dude, is you can stop. You can calculate. You can drop it in the comments, say, dude, you were wrong as well. But in the heat of the moment, things happen. Anyhow, let's go back to Mr. Grant Cardone. He said it again.
Look, Grant, I appreciate you calling, and I love your passion.
Yeah.
And and people like you who are so behind their product inspires me to go ahead and learn more from you.
Let's do it, okay? Let's do it. Hey, can I count on you to get started now?
Yeah, let's do it.
You're the man. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Jared, for giving me your dad. No, that's not Jared's dad, but I mean, look, sometimes that's all it takes.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, there was a lot to it. I mean, the guy is a legend, so he knows what he's doing. But the point is I'm trying to make is a lot of these sales dudes, I mean, there's a lot of hot air to it, and also a lot of technique. And what you need to do is you need to watch all these different videos and try and not be, blended by what is you see in the first impression, but try and just take your notes, take some care, think about it, how it works, and also think that a lot of these techniques, I don't mean it in a negative form, but they work in specific industries, maybe not that well in others. If it's an industry where you're selling, I don't know what, vacuum cleaners, you can probably do this more likely than if you're selling a highly sophisticated fintech based on trust. However, there's a lot to it. What I liked a lot was the way he listened, partially, and tried to paint the ideal scenario, saying, okay, what is it you're actually looking for? What would it take to make you happy? In what time frame? Okay, great. And at the end of the day, if you're happy, how does that look like? And that's something I like doing as well, especially when I do like keynoting and speaking or trainings. I very often ask my clients before and say, look, after the whole thing has been said and done, and you look back at it, what is it you like to have achieved? What is it you're going to, if you look at everything and all the after action reports and look at it and go like, yes, I've hit my mark. And if they tell me that before, I can actually understand, is this something I can deliver? Is this something where I can make them happy? Or potentially not. In most cases, there's a way to do it. But very often what you'll see is, and that's the key for me, is that most people will not have thought about this. And if you think about this in advance with your future or to-be client and say, what is it that you're looking for and what is it that will make you happy? If you establish that together, then you have a clear expectation. And at the end of the day, it's all about expectation management and being authentic. Now, here's my expectation. If you're still watching, I would love you to give me a like, potentially a comment. You could also just subscribe. That would be amazing. And if you have an amazing day, really amazing day, hit that subscribe button. In that sense, thank you very much for listening, watching, and going along with me in the journey together with Grant Cardone on the phone. I had to say it one more time. In that sense, thank you very much. Take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.